Imagine a time long ago when a special child was born. His name was Jesus, and he had a big mission. This is a story that begins in a humble setting with the birth of a baby who was destined to change the world. In the Gospel of John, we learn that Jesus is more than just an ordinary child. He is the Word. Now you may wonder, what does that mean? Well, the Word is a term used to describe Jesus' divine nature. It tells us that Jesus was with God from the very beginning, and in fact, Jesus was God. This might be a bit difficult to understand, but think of it like this. Just as your words reflect your thoughts and your personality, Jesus reflects the nature and the will of God. But why did Jesus, the Word, come to our world? He embarked on a divine mission to bring light. Now, this isn't the kind of light that comes from the sun or a lamp. Rather, it's a light that symbolizes truth, knowledge, and goodness. By coming to earth, Jesus wanted to share this spiritual light with everyone. Just like how a lamp pushes away the darkness and helps us see clearly, Jesus' light helps us understand the truth about God and guides us in the right direction. His teachings show us how to live our lives with love, kindness, and humility. And this light, it was not just for a few people, it was for everyone, no matter who you are or where you come from. Jesus' light is there to guide you, to help you understand the truth about God, and to show you the path to a fulfilling life. So Jesus, this extraordinary child, was here to shine a light for all people. This was his mission, a mission of love, of truth, and of enlightenment. And it all began with the birth of a special child named Jesus. Now, Jesus wasn't just any ordinary person. He performed miracles that amazed everyone. Let's take a journey through some of these extraordinary tales detailed in the Gospel of John. One of the first miracles Jesus performed was at a wedding in Cana. Here, the celebratory wine had run out, which could have put a damper on the festivities. But Jesus turned that around. He asked the servants to fill 6 stone jars with water. To everyone's surprise, when the jars were opened, the water had turned into the finest wine. This was no ordinary party trick. It was a sign of Jesus' divine power. Another astonishing miracle Jesus performed was healing a man who had been blind since birth. People were amazed when Jesus made some mud with his saliva, placed it on the blind man's eyes, and told him to wash in the pool of Siloam. When the man did as he was told, he could see for the first time in his life. This was not just an act of healing, it was a demonstration of Jesus' love and compassion. In the Gospel of John, we also find the story of Lazarus, a dear friend of Jesus, who had died. But when Jesus arrived, he did something incredible. He called out to Lazarus, who had been in a tomb for 4 days, and Lazarus came out alive. This was not just a miracle, it was a powerful message about Jesus' authority over life and death. These miracles were not just for show or to astonish the crowd, they were signs of something greater. Each miracle showed Jesus' power, his love, and his compassion. They were acts of kindness to those in need and demonstrations of divine authority. But most importantly, they were expressions of God's love for us all. Through these miracles, Jesus showed his love and kindness to everyone around him. And even today, these stories continue to inspire millions around the world, reminding us of the power of faith, love, and compassion. Jesus didn't just perform miracles, he taught important lessons about love and truth. In the Gospel of John, Jesus' teachings take center stage. His words were not just empty promises or lofty ideas, they were profound truths that continue to guide us today. 2 of his most important teachings revolve around love and truth. Let's first delve into Jesus' teachings on love. In John chapter 13, verse 34, Jesus says, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another." This wasn't just an instruction, it was a radical call to action. Jesus was asking people to love each other as deeply and selflessly as he loved them. He was teaching that love should not be an occasional act of kindness, but a constant presence in our lives. Love, according to Jesus, is not just about feelings, it's about actions, it's about care, it's about empathy. It's about seeing the divine in each other and treating each other with the respect and kindness that we all deserve. Now let's move on to his teachings about truth. In John chapter 8, verse 32, Jesus proclaims, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Jesus was teaching people that truth isn't something to be feared, but embraced. Truth, according to Jesus, is liberating. It frees us from the shackles of ignorance and deception. It opens our eyes to the reality of our lives and our world. It empowers us to live authentic and meaningful lives. In essence, Jesus' teachings on love and truth are intertwined. Love without truth can be misguided, and truth without love can be harsh. But when love and truth come together, they create a powerful force that can transform lives and societies. So, Jesus taught everyone to love each other and to always seek the truth. But Jesus' journey wasn't always easy. There came a time when he made a big sacrifice. In the Gospel of John, we learn about the most profound act of love anyone has ever shown. Jesus, knowing what was to come, willingly gave up his life on a cross. Why, you might wonder? The answer is simple, yet incredibly powerful. He did it out of love for all people, every single one of us. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross was not a defeat, but a triumphant act of love and a testament to his divine power. He knew that by giving up his life, he would pay the price for all the wrongdoings in the world. He did this so that we might be forgiven and live in peace. Imagine that. Jesus loved us so much that he was willing to give up his life for ours. But the story doesn't end there. No, it doesn't. Because on the third day after his death, something extraordinary happened. Jesus rose from the dead. This event is known as the resurrection. The Gospel of John tells us that early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. Jesus was not there. He had risen. The resurrection is a significant part of Jesus' story because it shows us that death is not the end. It is a beginning. Jesus conquered death, not just for himself, but for all of us. His resurrection gives us hope that, like him, we too can triumph over death and live eternally. This is the heart of Jesus' message in the Gospel of John. Jesus' sacrifice and resurrection are powerful reminders of the depth of his love for us. He was willing to endure the unimaginable, to give up his life, and to conquer death, all out of love for us. Even in the face of great challenge, Jesus' love for us remains strong. So what does the Gospel of John want us to learn from Jesus' life and teachings? Well, let's dive right in. The Gospel of John is a treasure trove of wisdom and lessons, but the overarching theme is belief. John wants us to understand that belief in Jesus is the key to eternal life. Do you remember John 3:16? It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." This verse underscores the power of belief. It's not just about acknowledging Jesus' existence, but accepting him into our hearts and lives. Then there's love. John's gospel is a testament to love's transformative power. Jesus teaches that love should be at the heart of everything we do. He asks us to love one another as he loved us. This kind of love isn't just about feelings, it's about actions. It's about putting others before ourselves, just as Jesus did. And let's not forget about truth. The Gospel of John teaches us that truth is more than just facts and figures. It's about living in a way that reflects God's reality. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He didn't just speak the truth, he was the truth, and he invites us to live in that same truth. Finally, we come to miracles. The Gospel of John is filled with examples of Jesus' miraculous power. From turning water into wine to raising Lazarus from the dead, these miracles weren't just displays of divine power. They were signs pointing to Jesus' identity as the Son of God. They were reminders that with faith, nothing is impossible. And that, my friends, is the beautiful message of the Gospel of John. Believe, love, seek truth, and remember the miracles.